streaming. Yeah, we are streaming now live. So we're going to keep this AMA reasonably short so that we can direct people in the project to come and listen to what we are going to say today, because it's really, really super important that the people who are involved in the project, and we've had some amazing feedback from the survey asking, you know, we've asked people what is going to incentivize people to come and help the project. And a lot of people came back and said, I don't need any sort of incentive, which is amazing. And those are probably the people that are here listening now. Now, you guys are the lucky ones because you're leading this project. You are the ones that are getting involved. And I've got some amazing people saying we love the project. What we need are 10 times you guys, right? You guys can sit at the top of this pyramid. You guys can sit here and be the leaders of the project. You guys can help direct people to what they need to be doing. But this project will not live off the back of a handful of people contributing to, you know, our Discord, our Twitter, our Telegram. Now, we are about to press the button on the P2P, B2B, IEO marketing. That has been teed up and is ready to go, right? We are about to press that button. As soon as we press that button, lots more people will, 1, hear about our project, 2, come and join our channels such as Discord and Telegram, look at our Twitter, and we need to impress those people. And it's not going to impress those people if it's just those of us that are sat here now, because some of you guys are doing an incredible job and holding the conversations within Discord and our other channels. And, you know, Andy and I do our best to work on Twitter, and we've got a lot of content coming out. We need to up the game, without my dog going mad. We need to up the game on Telegram and Twitter and Discord right now. And that means everybody getting involved. And to do that, we are going to incentivize people, but it's not going to include people who do nothing. So the people who are sat on the sidelines watching and hoping and holding an NFT, those are the people we don't really want winning from the project. I'm just checking, is the audio okay?
Yeah, it's fine, Simon.
Right, so look, we're going to create a new category of holder, and that will be a VIP category within Discord. And we've got over 300 verified holders. Those are people who came in here and bought a JJC, and they bought it at the mint, and they've held it, and they're sat there. Yes, some of those will have sold, right? That's fine. They've left the project, and there were people that did that. But there are over 300 verified holders in this project, and those are the people that want, that should be able to take advantage of what we're about to announce. Because when we bring these thousands of extra eyes, right, to look at our project, we cannot afford. We are spending more than $10,000 on this next piece of marketing to bring massive amounts of attention to this project, right? We cannot afford to waste that, because if we waste that opportunity, we might as well all go home, right? There's no point in banging our heads against the wall trying to make this happen with, look, we can carry on. I'd love to just own the project myself, right? Me, Andy, and a handful of others who are basically the people that run the project, the admins, the mods, and those of you that do a great job, right? Those are the people that want to win from the project at the moment. But if you're sat there thinking, well, there's somebody else who, they've bought a whole bunch of token and they own some, jungle cats, and are we all here going to work our asses off for the next 6 months to a year and then let those people come back in and cash in? No. So we are going to create a new category of holder, and that will be a VIP membership, and we will be announcing the details of that in 7 days' time on the AMA next week. We have already built out what that will include, and it will include more jungle cats for people who are in that category. It will include another apartment code. It will include access to some very, very exclusive crypto groups where there is information that you just cannot get hold of, right? There's information that we are members of groups where we have paid tens of thousands of dollars to be in other groups, right? Andy and myself, and that information we can bring into that group. The people who are also members of that group will get the live information, so they will get to know any announcement. They will know all of the information ahead of anybody else. So they'll get an advantage. They will, that information will come out 2 or 3 days later for the rest of the people. So we, as the people who end up in that group, will be the people that will enjoy the benefit. We are looking for at least 50 people to be in that group. So that will include the mods and admins as it stands now. The mods and admins will have to make or continue to make their contribution, and I'm sure most of those do so anyway, and they will meet that criteria. But there will be opportunity for everybody in this group who is a member of our Discord and is actually active. So I mean, people who come on, there'll be people, we realise there will be people that are not active on Discord and their thing is Twitter. Now, if I see somebody who's actually making an effort on Twitter and can really help the project, those people will get involved and will get upgraded to that status. We are going to set over the next 7 days a criteria. Now, when we see these extra people coming in, we need people to see our Discord and our Telegram and our Twitter active. And I mean really active, right? It won't wash if there's only 2 or 3 people. So I'm asking you, please, and I've asked this before, over the next week, it would be amazing if people could really get involved in if your thing's Twitter, help us on Twitter. If you've got the opportunity, and you guys obviously listening here right now, you guys all do Discord. So if you've got the opportunity to just come in and drop a joke or just start some sort of conversation or ask a question in the general chat, and let's all try and do it in the general chat for the next week, because, the eyes, the new eyes that come into the project, that's where they're going to be looking. So if we as a group can try and please make that general chat as busy as possible over the next 7 days, it is going to make an incredible difference. The people that do that will be recognised in this AMA next week. So we will look down that list and we will upgrade some people into the VIP status. There will then be an announcement of how other people can earn their way into that group. Once we reach 50 people, plus the mods and admins in that group, we are going to close that group off. And that group of VIP, OG, JJC holders, whatever we end up calling it, you guys will lead the project. And it's the people that get involved over the next few weeks will win. Right, and we will leave everybody else behind. They can be the followers of us, but if we've got 50 plus people that contribute to the project and love the project and are prepared to bring other people into the project, that's what we need, right? We need activity. And if you're listening to this and you want to get involved, please, I'm not asking a lot. I just want help over the next 7 days so that you can earn your way into that group. And there will be people coming in and out of that group, because if somebody earns their way in and then, really doesn't contribute, then maybe they'll get kicked out of that group, because we're not giving stuff away for free in this project without getting a little something back. And the little something we want is some contribution in terms of bringing people into the project. So, Jane said to me earlier in the mods meeting, well, look, if somebody comes along and says they can bring a big comedian to the community, great, that person, they've done something great for the project, they probably get upgraded straight away into that group. If there's somebody who's just, if they can't afford to hold a certain amount of token, or they can't afford to buy a jungle cat, they can earn it by contributing, bringing jokes, posting messages, asking questions, being active in the Discord, liking stuff that we put out on Twitter, retweeting, going on Telegram, commenting, right? Because we are going to have to, as a community, this is, to some extent, over the next 6 weeks, a massive make or break moment for us, right? The market might change direction, and I'm sure over the next week we're going to see some massive market changes, right? And there is, I've got access to a video that somebody says, and I respect the person who's made this comment, that ETH can fall off a cliff, right? As soon as they launch that ETH2, these are the type of insights that we can give to people, but it will be people who are contributing and the people that are in that project, that part of the project. After we close out that group, the only way to get into that group is going to be by paying $10,000 as a membership, because I've paid more than that to be a member in some of the other groups that I'm a member of, and substantially more of in some of those groups. And I'm going to be bringing you some of that information into that group, and I'm not giving it away for free, right? So the people who live in that group and work for this project will get access to information that people in this community who have paid for tens and, well, I know there's one person in this project that paid $25,000 to get into a particular group just to get certain pieces of information on the way the markets are moving. And I am privileged enough to have access to that information. The people who get into that group will have access to that information. So if you want to earn that sort of access and that sort of insight for free, as in just a bit of your time and a commitment to the project, it's there on the table. But we need to see people wanting to get it over the next week. Okay? Those that really contribute, it's not a competition. Just do what you can, right? We will be watching. We will be watching over the next week. And when we see what's happening, we are then going to put some criteria down that we consider for the people that are contributing will be reasonably easy to achieve. Because, as we say, the next 5 or 6 weeks, when we run up to the launch on P2P, B2B, and I've asked for the 1st of November to be the date for the launch on there. It's not set in stone. I can move that date if I want, and if I see the market going in the wrong direction, the date will change, or it may well get brought forward. But the people who are in that group will know exactly what is happening at least 48 hours before anybody else. Okay, so that gives you a seat at the table, and it gives you a massive advantage. Plus it'll give you extra jungle cats, it'll give you an extra apartment, it's going to give you maybe some tokens. I don't know whether we're going to put some tokens on the table, and loads of other benefits. Access to the information, access to movement information, pings on Discord for when Bitcoin's about to move in different directions, and that obviously times the market, different signals on different currency pairs and different cryptos like ETH and XRP and all these sorts of things that we will throw in there, and training as well, and access to this group of people, right? The people who are not paying attention are going to be the ones that lose out. Okay, so all we're asking is over the next week, please do what you can. If you can't do that in the next week, some people are going to gain an advantage, and then over the next following couple of weeks, there's going to be an opportunity for people to earn their way in. Once we announce that, we are going to put that into all the groups where people bought the jungle cats. So when we did the marketing for the drop for the NFT, we did an awful lot of hard work bringing people into this project. So there's about 600 holders of the jungle cats, and as I say, there's 300 odd people that are verified. When we press that button and say, right, the marketing has started for P2P, B2B, here we go, guys, here's an offer that I don't think people can afford to miss out on. And those people in the groups that we advertised the NFT to drop to, they will be getting a message, a very clear message that says, if you want to be involved in this project going forwards, here's some big benefits for you. Come and get them, or don't come and get them. And if you don't come and get them, I'm not interested in you, because those people are going to get left behind. And if they then decide at a later date they want that information and access, they'll be paying $10,000 to get in that group. So it will be very, very exclusive. So once you're in until, such time as you don't want to contribute to the project anymore. But we're only looking for 50 people in that group, okay? It may end up more than that if there's a load of people over the next couple of weeks. If I'd love to have 300 people in that group. If I got 300 people on Discord and Telegram and Twitter contributing every week, it would be amazing. And that's, look, really, that would solve a lot of problems for this project, because it would get, imagine if we had all 300 of those verified holders posting just once a week. It'd be amazing. It would create loads of conversation. It would be enough. But as it stands, I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 people on this session listening to me. And you guys are the hardcore. You guys are here listening, and we really do appreciate that. The market is on a knife edge at the moment, waiting for the ETH merge. And there's going to be some catastrophic events in the real world coming up. Like the US housing market is on the brink of collapse. The UK energy market is going through some incredible turmoil. I think today the euro crossed over 1 for 1 to the dollar, which was, a moment. But in the next week with the ETH merge, the whole market is waiting to see what's happening. And there's going to be an incredible amount of movement, fluctuations. But after that point, there should be more stability. We've gone past the point of people coming back from holiday and going back to school. People are just about thinking about getting back to business. There's going to be a lot of positivity once this ETH merge is out of the way. But before that happens, there's probably a really big dip. So we're waiting to see, and everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen. All the smart money is sat on the side, sat there going, right, I don't want to necessarily be at the table when that happens. So hence why we've timed this launch and this marketing push to happen from next week, because nobody knows what's going to happen between now and the 18th of this month. And as soon as all that washes out, we will have a much better idea what's going to happen, not just in this project, but in the entirety of the crypto space and the Forex markets. And, the people in that group, you will not believe the amount of advantage you're going to get. You're going to get access to launches. You'll get alpha into some projects. We will be showing you where we are, where we're working with other projects behind the scenes, and give you chances to get into those projects before anybody else. This is the sort of stuff we're not going to share publicly, because, we're paying for that information and we're paying for that access, and we want to give it to the people who want to work with us, not just everybody and the hangers-on. So anyway, probably enough of a rant from me, Andy. Do you want to add something?
Not a lot. Just to reiterate, there's been a lot of delay in things happening, mainly because of the world as it's been, the markets, people being away, people dragging their feet over things. One of the things that we're trying to bring to the front of the project, the guy involved in that's had COVID and been ill for quite a few weeks, so he's apologised over that. Other people have been really busy and away. We have got another meeting with the VCs tomorrow. There's other stuff going on, and it's been, like I said, it's been frustrating. But we are everything seems to be slowly gathering a bit more pace again, which I think is really positive. So I think over the next week or two, there's going to be a big push into Discord from me, and on Twitter and in Telegram. I've lined up quite a lot of stuff that I've been working on this last couple of weeks. So yeah, we just want everybody to come along and help as much as they possibly can. And as Simon said, we'll announce that stuff next week on how we're going to exactly work that. But yeah, get involved, show some love to all the stuff that's going to be going out there over the next 24 hours and ongoing. But there's not a lot more to update on the project. There's just a lot of stuff in the background still. and I'm still really optimistic about all the things that are going on, which is really good.
Well, the main push is that listing on P2P, B2B. And people have to be aware that if we do not get the volume on the token up, we don't achieve that listing. Now, they will do an amazing job on the marketing for us because they've got, for example, 750,000 people in their Telegram community. We will be running an AMA to their membership. The last couple of posts that went out on their Telegram got over 180,000 views. So once people start, I've had another exchange, and Andy doesn't even know this. I've had another exchange approach me today, looking for us to go and list on there. And my first question was, what's it going to cost us? And they said, no, we've researched your project and we would love to list you. So it's not, that's not a paid piece of activity. So they've got upwards of 8 million views on their site a month. And that's, again, something that's not going to cost us. But again, I have to verify that I'm talking to the right person. I'm now waiting for an email direct from that exchange so that we can continue that conversation. But it seems genuine at this point. And if they're not asking us for money, there wouldn't be any other real reason for them to contact us. It's not like, most of these ones, they come forward and they'll say, right, we're from, let's say, KuCoin, and we are the listing team, and the payment is $5,000 to get X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, okay, no, because you're clearly not from KuCoin. So we need to get this listing on P2P, B2B going, right? And we need it to be a massive success. I've been watching some of their other listings going, and they're doing really well, and they're launching some decent projects. Some that are, well, like I would say, a dog shit. Some of them are awful, but they are selling them out, and they are bringing a lot of new holders to projects. Now, we want people going and looking at our Discord and saying, well, why can't I get into that VIP? How do I get into that VIP? And it's not to say that we won't open up the opportunity for people to come in. For people, if we see somebody who's outside of that group and they are making a massive contribution, we within the group of the VIP members will be saying, right, do we think we should let XYZ person in? And that will be a decision made for the people that are already in that group. But again, it will just be to reward the people that make the effort. Because Andy and I were sat together this morning. He came over to Doncaster after I had an hour and a half train ride, which wasn't the best. But he came over, we sat down, and the one thing that really, made that conversation happen was that we're sitting there thinking, right, the amount of work we've put into this project over the last year, you wouldn't believe, right? And we're not getting paid to do that. Yes, we hold a lot of tokens, and yes, we control the project, right? But we don't get paid to do it. We're sat here talking to people that are venture capitalists who, well, Andy, what was that project you spotted today?
Can't remember, but
Doodles.
It's a well-trusted friend on Twitter said, congratulations to XYZ for raising, and this will make your ears bleed, everybody, $54 million that raised first round that values this business at over $700 million. And I kid you not, when I sent the link to Simon, and I don't think we should say who it is, Simon, it was dog shit. Honestly, it was like a kid had done it. And I'm scratching my head going, what is going on in the world? Because there was nothing behind it.
Well, it's a marketing exercise, right?
$700 million valuation and a raise of $54 million. And, well, put it this way, Simon and I had some colourful exchanges of humour about it afterwards. But also the realisation, I put the deck together for the VCs with Simon, it makes for utterly amazing reading because it's based on stuff that we're doing and have done and things going on. And you think, compare that to what I've just seen, and it baffles me. Absolutely baffles me.
Well, it won't baffle you. Yeah, it won't baffle you for long, Andy, because the conversation that we're going to have tomorrow is, to let the community know we are genuinely talking to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, venture capital firm behind a lot of the enormous projects on the blockchain, and they specialize in the metaverse, and they are looking to bring people like us into their stable. Now, when they do that, yes, it's it's a negotiation, and these things don't happen overnight. But part of what we're doing is obviously with the listing on P2P, B2B, is that there's an opportunity for them to come in before that happens, and if they want to come in, they will need to come in before that happens, because when we list on P2P, that means we get a whole load of more holders, but a percentage of the project goes to those holders that we don't have at the moment. So that dilutes what Andy and I have in the project. That's fine. It brings more money, brings more holders, it brings more marketing opportunity, and it brings the chance for us to, for example, go and speak on stages around the world and talk about this project and bring more comedy clubs, more comedians, and go into more metaverses, right? But if the opportunity exists to fast forward that by doing a deal with a venture capital firm to mean that we can actually press the button on a lot more of that a lot more quickly, that's what we're actually looking to do. So the 6-week timescale up to a launch on P2B, I cannot tell you how important it is. We will reward the people who come along and get involved over the next week more than anyone, right? So if you've got the opportunity and you are listening, tell others, right? Get them to listen to this AMA and say to them, Simon and Andy want your help, right? The mods and admins want your help. You guys want to help me help you, right? That's what we need to do. And you're not going to get a better opportunity in any other project, I don't believe, to be part of a group which sits at the top table within what we believe is going to be one of the best metaverse projects out there over the next year. Because look, we all know that the metaverse is really quiet at the moment because nobody's putting VR on. But as the weather and Christmas approaches, the conversation we had with one of the owners of a metaverse, he's aiming for a lot of stuff in November and December purely because that's when a lot of the headsets get purchased, and it's December, January that they're looking at for a massive growth, which will happen. As soon as the market moves in a direction and we see that happening, and that's why we're looking at the start of November, because it is most likely to be November, December that this market really starts to rocket. If it isn't then, it'll be January, February, and we will have positioned this project perfectly to take advantage of that. And I know it's taken a little bit longer than a lot of people might have liked, but there was no way we were wasting all of that marketing effort over the last 6 weeks. Because I've seen other projects do it, and I've seen them fail miserably just because people are sat there going, hold on a minute, let's just wait and see what happens. And I know patience in blockchain and the crypto DeFi industry is one thing that 99.9% of people don't have. Probably me included to some extent, but I've learned that, we, as Andy said in the mods and admins meeting, what was the phrase you used? I don't want to be pushing shit uphill with a toothbrush. Right? Yeah. So there's no point in pushing the big red button for all of this marketing unless we are all helping, right? All of us. Those that we see get involved over the next week, and even if it's only just coming onto Discord and making a couple of comments each day, that would be amazing. I don't think I'm asking a lot. And if you want to DM me, if you're not really a Discord person or you can help out in other ways, DM me and say, look, I can help you out on Twitter. I can do this. I can do that. That's what we're looking for. Like when I read that sheet and saw people saying, I don't need any sort of incentive to help this project, well, those people clearly will get rewarded because they are already doing what we're asking. It's the people I'm talking to in this AMA are the people that are maybe you've sat and you've lurked and you want to get involved. Well, now's the time, because the people who make the effort over this next 6 weeks are the ones that are really going to get rewarded, and everybody else gets left behind. I want everybody in here, in the group that we're in the founders level, you know, the people that will massively get generational change of wealth over the next, might be 2 years, might be 4 or 5 years, right? We don't know. But this project will be one of the winners. We know that. And you guys here listening, hopefully you know that as well. I don't want you, you know, I don't feel like people will be wasting their time. If you bought Jungle Cats and you're verified, or even if you don't own a Jungle Cat, but you want one and you want an apartment and you want some tokens and all of that, the people that join that group will get the rewards, okay? And we will announce the criteria to achieve that next week. And maybe, obviously, we may well announce that some people that I'm looking at now on the stage, or people in the audience, have already achieved what we wanted and they're already in that group. So we will start that group next week, Andy, as soon as we just need to, we want to see, and one thing I will ask is, if you think that what I'm trying to say is, I want people from the community to say, well, we think X is fair, right? We're going to lay out some benefits for people, for those 50 people, the first 50 people to get into that group. And, you know, if you think it's fair that you have to post 3 times a week on Discord, or retweet a couple of tweets, or, you know, we're not seeing enough people getting involved. And it's not a criticism, because I can see people's names in here that do an awful lot. I just need the people that are listening, please get involved, right? Please, over the next week, please get involved and help us out, because these next 6 weeks, it is so crucial, right? And you're going to help yourselves, right? So we're going to make as much effort as we can. We just want others to do the same, and you'll get rewarded for it. And it's going to be better than, you know, those rewards will be bigger than anyone can really imagine.
Yeah.
Cool.
You broke up, Simon, but yeah, we just need some help along the way now.
But yeah, look, that P2P piece, that piece of marketing is going to start this week, early next week, because we need just to see what happens with the ETH merge and the washout from that. But that is scheduled to be starting today and going through till the 18th. We'll be watching very closely what's happening, as will the whole market. Once that's done, we're going to press the big button, and then you will see that marketing kicking in. That's why we're giving people 3 or 4 days notice, so that we can all really, you know, what amazes me is there are some Telegram channels out there that they just post odd memes and a few jokes a day, and they've got hundreds of thousands of members. That needs to be us, right? Why aren't we doing that? And likewise on Discord and Twitter, we've got a load of stuff we're going to be posting. We've got loads of content. We need the engagement, and we need you guys helping. That's what I'm saying. All right. So we've got a week from today. We will be announcing those criteria and the people that are already included, because they've made the effort over the last 7 days. Okay. And I can see some names on here that I know will already qualify. Okay. So you guys keep the great work up. We just help others get involved more. That's what we need. So it looks really busy, and it is busy. And as people come in, we will reach a critical mass, and those people can take a little bit more of a back seat, because the community will grow and run itself. And once we reach that critical mass, then it really will take off. Okay, because we're looking to get another 5 to 10,000 holders of this token in those, in that launch, that makes an incredible difference, especially if the market is moving in the right direction. Okay, so trust me, it's going to be a really big ride over the next 6 weeks. Let's just see who wants to get involved. Andy, anything else you want to say, or anybody got any questions before we go?
I have got one thing, Simon. My wife's just posted me something. There's a comedy festival coming up in October. So I'm going to speak to them tonight to see if we can stream it into the metaverse. It's over 3 days. And what I was going to say is, if wherever you live locally, if you hear anything going on, whether it's a couple of hours show or anything else, give us their details, or if you know the people there, like I know the people in Retford, shout up, because we have got the capability to run it in one club or all the clubs or wherever we may be, even small independent festivals. There's nothing stopping us. It doesn't always have to be the big names. A lot of the time, and the reason we're here is to open up comedy. So that's come out of the blue. It's a 3-night event, about 25 different comedians. I'm going to try my best to get them to run them into the metaverse for those 3 days, which would be really cool. Yes, it's a northern English town, but I think it's great that if we can get that and spread the word of what those people are like to people in the States or anywhere else in the world. So if you do come across anything, shout up to us and we'll see what we can do to get them streaming it into the clubs. Because even if it's done on a mobile, a bit ropey, let's run it. Let's see how it works.
That's a good point. There are a couple clubs here that I've spoken to some of the managers. They have comedy nights, and they seem to be pretty excited about it. We just, I need to come with them with some kind of idea and how the streaming will work. They just want more details.
I have got a deck, Mark. What I'll do, I'll dig it out and just probably update it a little bit. And I'll share it in with a few people, and then if they want to take it to comedy clubs, they can go. This is what we're doing. It is pre-revenues. There's nothing in it for people at the minute, but it gets to them spreading the word. We can share the comedians' Twitter handles. We can share it on Facebook, so we can spread the word about these comedians, which is great for them.
That's why
that's what we can do for them.
Yeah, and just to ride the coattails on a comment, I mean, that's something similar I just posted in the AMA chat. So you got to start, I think everybody needs to start local. You need to start looking local. Don't look at the metaverse like it's this massive space. Like, how do we get the me? Like, it's just start local. That's really what so there's a guy that I met at the expo that Antoine and I went to, and I still touch base with him, and I'm supposedly.
You broke up, Mark. Lost you, Mark.
And he wanted to know about the project, and I'm thinking like, hey, I showed him the video, that we had for the expo. He's like, we have they have a screen on stage hooked up to a laptop, so you can easily play the video. So that's something I actually wanted to go back on you guys. I know we put some time putting that video together, but I don't know if there's any way to put some snippets in there about. It's just there's always things, coming to fruition, all the exchange listing. There's always new stuff. But I think if we start local and we can reach out to these, there's crypto groups everywhere. There's millions of them. Like, people are interested, So, so there's a meetup group that he introduced me to. They had a meetup for DEF CON that just passed recently. But he asked me to come and speak to it, and it's good. He reached out to me. He's like, I think it'd be really great for you to come and talk about the project. So I told him, I was like,
good point. Maybe we might do a bit of an update video at some point, Simon and myself. We'll have a look at what we've got.
Right.
The weeks have been a bit strange with everything as it's been, but we'll.
But for now, I'm gonna, if I end up heading over there later tonight, it's just honestly, like, my brother's in the hospital, so it's the only reason why I wouldn't go tonight. But it's pretty bad. But anyway, my idea, if I was going to go, and this is for anybody else listening, if you have local groups and you want to share the video, you share the video, and you can always touch on, maybe we can get like a added list to maybe touch on like touch topics. So if I go on stage or if I talk about it, I can say, since this video was produced, we have this, and this, or this is what we're doing. And we can even talk about, hey, right now we're looking for people to come into this VIP group to get the project going. And or something, and just word it in a way to make it. I just think you have new ears. It is a great project. Like when I talk about this project to people, they're like, "Oh, wow!" Like it's just nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing this.
I know.
And so it's a shame. It's a shame to see the lull right now, but it's like it's still nothing's changed.
Yeah, we're not the only project that's encountering this, though.
Well, of course not.
It's a bit of a strange thing, but I think now's the time to put the foot on the gas again. I've made a few things that I'll make sure happens over the next sort of like few days with work. I've got a few meetings lined up over the next few days, but I have got time to do a few things. I'll endeavour to try and get some stuff done for early next week so people have got things in their hand and then they can start utilising it. So, yeah, and I'll have a chat with Simon tomorrow over a couple of other bits that have been raised. But yeah, all good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so for those that aren't in the AMA live chat at the moment, I've just posted up. It is it's an outline of what we're looking at as, what the benefits that people will get. There's going to be things like merch, access to certain groups, tips on crypto training, obviously the VIP badge and OG founding JGC member club, right? But it's going to be, the people that make the effort, that's the sort of thing we're looking at, and that's what roughly will get announced next week. But I'm hoping to obviously immediately promote some people into that status straight away. And then, once we fill that up, yes, we may grow that group, but only for people that are going to be really active. So that's when we're going to start talking to the groups that we promoted the Jungle Cats into, because there's some massive groups there. Those are people that really love the project, but if they love it, that's when we want them just to come in and, like I say, if we had 300 people, 300 verified holders coming in once or twice a week and posting once or twice, that would make an enormous difference, right? That's all we need to do for the next 6 weeks. That will, look, we can 10x this project over this next 6 weeks. That is not a joke, right? We absolutely can, because these guys at P2P, and somebody's, I noted somebody saying, well, who is P2P, B2B? In some respects, people say that they are as big as KuCoin. So if you've heard of KuCoin, this is that sort of level of exchange. This is no Mickey Mouse outfit. They are going to give us a really, really big push. They are looking for quality projects to actually get in front of their members, because all of these exchanges, they want to get away from the shit coins, because that's all they're getting, right? And they know that the world is changing. They are going to give us a load of publicity. For example, we're going to have an advert on BSC Scan, right? What's that worth? All of that sort of stuff is included in this package. AMAs with, when we're starting to have an AMA with over 100,000 people, that's pretty big, right? So please make an effort to get into that group.
You're right, Simon. Can I just say, I saw a post the other day, the token launched, I think it was within 24 hours of the Queen dying, called Elizabeth Enu.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking.
Right.
And I completely pumped and then rug pulled. What a surprise.
Yeah.
And that's why these exchanges are not wanting to take these things anymore, because it's damaging their own reputations.
Yeah.
So
look.
It's got to grow up. We've said it for months and months and months. It's got to grow up, and we're positioning ourselves in a really good place here.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we can't 10x this project in the next 6 weeks, I'll be very surprised. So the only thing that will prevent that is the market, and nobody can predict which way that's going. We are, like we've said before, we're timing this because we presume, nobody can predict the future, but we're hoping that bull run is going to start sometime in November. And like I've already said, it may be January, February, but it's not that far away. Yeah,
Simon,
Dave says he can predict. Go on then, Dave. You tell me exactly when give me a date. Give me a date that the bull run will start, and we'll hold you to that. But let's hope he types that in, and he's typing. He's typing. Here we go. Right, and he's made his decision because he's going to put it. He's going to. Oh, I will charge $15,000. He says. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll keep that bit of advice to inside the discussion for VIP members, Dave? So, yeah. Look, that's look. I've got there's tons of tokens that I've got on a list that I know will 20 to 50x in the next bull run, and it's going to be obvious when it's already started. You do not need to get into those tokens now. You just need you need to know that the bull run is started and is confirmed, and certain milestones are hit on Bitcoin and ETH. And once that happens, the whole market's going to move in one direction, and it's all those tokens that I can share that list with people, but only the people in that group. So, yeah, Dave's and I'll be charging a lot more than 15,000, Dave. Okay, so we'll put another.
You two, what's it like? You two.
Yeah. Good old Dave.
Simon, we do have a question in the AMA live chat that I could answer, but I'd like you to answer if you wouldn't mind. Sammy B asks, do we need to all be looking at getting more joke tokens sold now? Will that help the volume thing?
Well, there will be the people who get into the token now. Those people are presumably going to do very well when we list.
Good for them.
Yeah, but the volume isn't going to be a problem at the start. So when we list, there will be a massive volume because there's going to be at least 1 billion tokens traded in that IEO. Now, when that happens, that brings a shed load more holders. It does bring a pump, and we all know what happens when you get the pump. You will get a lot of activity and a lot of attention brought upon the project, which is why when people come in and they go, "Oh right, what is joke?" and they start looking at everything that we do, and they understand and they attend AMAs, and there will be a lot more AMAs and a lot more activity around that time, and hopefully thousands and thousands of people attending these and understanding how joke can go through the next bull run. And those people are the ones we want them to get involved and not just sit on the sidelines and own some tokens. We want them buying the Jungle Cats. We want them buying the token. We want them coming in and getting involved, because when we get this community to, and it is, I think I'm right in saying, Jane, that the Kevin Hart Nation project is having exactly the same struggles at the moment, that they need more activity because it's because the whole market is depressed at the moment. Everyone's just waiting for what's happening next. But if the opportunity we've got is to bring those thousands of people in, and all we've got to do is impress them, because we're here first. So we know what's about to happen, and we know that, well, as it stands, the 1st of November is, and it's a Tuesday, is the day that IEO will happen. Now, what will happen is, at the time of that IEO, and if you're still here listening, you're getting a bit of information that nobody's got yet. At the time of that IEO, the trading of the joke token on NightSwap will be suspended for 48 hours while that IEO takes place, and then trading will resume, as in it will resume exactly at the same time as the trading on P2P B2B commences, so that you can get parity in the price of the token on the two exchanges, and you have a market maker that makes sure that there's no arbitrage opportunity between two exchanges, because that can be really bad if people can buy on one exchange at one price and sell on the other one at a profit, right? You don't want that happening, because bots can start getting involved, and there's all sort of technical things that you have to make sure don't happen. Anyway, that's what will happen. But yes, it's great if we can get people to come and look at the project. The question is, is it good if we can get volume now? Obviously, yes, but we don't want anybody buying the token unless they believe in the project right now. We want people who believe, right? We want people who love the project, right? And that will be the message throughout the entirety of our our project, all the way through, because I've seen a couple of really, really amazing projects come to a point where they are getting day traded, which is not what we want for this project, right? We want the people who are in now to be able to hold and, yes, sell some on the way up, make some profit, right? We're all here to make a bit of money. We're not holding the token and the NFT for a laugh, right? We want everybody here to come out of this the other side having done really well. But those that get to join that group will have the information at least 48 hours before anybody else, and that's the promise we're making today. So I think we're going to bring this one to a close. I hope we've answered those questions, but the key thing is please get involved over the next week. I'm not going to beg you, right? Those of you that want to do it will, and if you sit on the sidelines any longer, then you'll be missing out. And if you then want to get in, it's going to cost you a lot, right? And I mean a lot more than it's going to cost people over the next 3 or 4 weeks in terms of a little bit of effort, okay? Jane's just said bingo drawing. I haven't drawn it as yet because I've been on my rant. I'll say that I'll post it in the next 24 hours if that's all right. So we'll draw that tomorrow morning UK time, Andy, if you can just remind me, and we'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put a note in for tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I think, we've said it all. We've said it several times. I said I was going to keep it quite short, and then we've dragged on for an hour. So, look, please direct people to listen to this AMA, because I'm going to start posting this into the really big groups that came and bought the Jungle Cats. And I'm going to tell them it is essential that they listen to this AMA and then get involved. Because, 300 holders, 300 verified holders, the amount of activity we had around the Jungle Cat launch, that's what we need now leading up to this IEO on P2P. So I can just see Dave's typing one more thing. He's probably put his price up to 20k now while I've been talking. But let's just see what he's got to say before we close out. Hopefully it's not a long sentence. Oh, he's building 2 more bingo buildings and to help people find the bingo more easily. So that's great, yeah. So we'll
go through the cat with Dave at some point.
Yeah. Cheers for that, Dave. We do appreciate it, and you're definitely one of the people that we do rely on in the project. So thank you for all the effort you've been making. But let's draw this one to a close, and we will review over the next week the activity and who's been doing what on Discord, Twitter, Telegram. So we are going to need to get people talking on Telegram. That will come naturally anyway, because we are going to get a lot of people from the P2P, B2B group coming over to see. So look, help people, direct them, show them, talk to them, keep them happy and make them laugh. So that's it for today, and